Greetings and welcome back to SwitchedtoLinux. Well, Linux Mint 19.1 has been released and we are going to have a look at what the distro looks like. I think there's weirdness going on the YouTube end. It's like, for the longest time, it's like nobody's watching. There were like 16 people waiting. Like, what? I don't know. It's up to 23 now. All right, there we are. Up to 23. Good to know. Good to know. So, let's see what we got here. Who's online? Looks like Farron OS gave us an essay to read, so that's all right. Hello, is it Gualmi? Greetings. Wait a minute, gaming. How's it going there? What are we waiting for? A cookie? Oh, we're waiting for a cookie. All right. Let's see. Yeah, these are a little bit late for the guys over there across the seas, but my apologies. I was experimenting with doing some earlier ones sometime too, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. First distro, Mint Cinnamon. I can only thank Neon for opening my eyes. Now I know a thing or two. I was fortunate enough to always meet the best and most knowledgeable peeps. There you go. And I've got a gift to piece things together. All right. Some's hidden in plain sight. Hello, Robin. Greetings to you. Looking forward to the stream. Very good. And you are already up and running with 19.1 Mate. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Snazzy Butterfly. Yes, the kitty does have a heart on his side. Hello, Horace. Greetings to you. Cat doesn't like me anymore. He only likes the boyfriend. Uh-oh. The kitty is betraying you. Kitty, are you gonna betray me? He's like, no, not at all, man. That was gonna be at 9 o'clock. I put this one a little bit earlier because I have a ton of things to do. And just a reminder, I will not have a stream tomorrow night. Friday's a possible. I don't know yet. We'll kind of have to see. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about how you can recreate the traditional taskbar layout on Linux Mint Cinnamon 19.1. Actually, Cinnamon 4.0, really. Any distro. I actually recorded the video with Arch, so whatever. Somebody's streaming early. Just got a notification. Yeah, I either stream this one. It is either at 6 or at 7. I have things to do later today, so I want to go a little bit earlier. Christmas came early for Mint users. That is right. Hello, Michael. Greetings to you. And Ben, how's it going there? Did I miss the OS demo? No, I just started. Just starting. Not going in there yet. Okay, I'm on Windows. I had to move the taskbar on the top to download a program to not have hot corners. Used to the hot corners of GNOME. There is a application in Cinnamon. Oh, you're on Windows. Had to move the taskbar to the top and download a program to have... Oh, on Windows. Yeah, I had to do the hot corners on Windows thing. I don't know. Hello, Vince. Greetings to you. How's the weather out that way? It's pretty cold here today. Here for a quick minute. Enjoy 19.1, Tom. Be careful with traditional 2 from Modern Switcher. Let's just say the implementation is not optimized for Cinnamon's stability. That's kind of the downside. And that's actually why tomorrow's video is going to be about how you can set up the traditional layout without going into that form, because I'm a little leery about that. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on over to the release notes here. So, of course, if you head on over to linuxmint.com, you can go to the download page and you'll see the 19.1 option here. You can download Cinnamon, Mate, or XFCE. I actually have not downloaded Cinnamon, believe it or not, just because I did the initial looking at Cinnamon. We're going to look at the release notes for Cinnamon, but we're just going to boot up Mate and XFCE today is what we're going to do. All right, and so let's go ahead and first let's have a look at some release notes. So Cinnamon is first. What's new in Cinnamon? Of course, the biggest change in this is the Cinnamon 4.0, which is going to be, for some of you, a great modernizing UI effect, and for others like me, you may not like it. So, of course, this is the image. You'll see that they have now set the layout up a lot more, the panel layout is a lot more like Windows 10, where we are pinning things. I guess this goes back a little bit, a couple versions back as well. But you can pin your applications to the taskbar. When you open up the application, it doesn't give you the whole task list. Now, I find that the task list is critically important for what I do, so I don't care for this new layout. Now, there is a switcher inside the welcome screen to turn this layout back on. And there is a way to turn it back on without going through that, because as Farron just mentioned, it does seem to interfere with some things, including the panel the panel applets as well. So you have that option. This is the desktop layout item that you see. Let me actually bump this browser up a bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. There we are. Okay, so this is the image there. We're now inside of your first steps. If you scroll down a little bit, there is a layout. You can either choose the traditional if you like the traditional, or you can choose the modern if you like the modern. So either one is an option. All of the other settings are otherwise retained. You can still change the panel, and I think the panel settings is a little bit new here as well. There are a little bit more configuration options, which is probably good. You can define icon size for each of the panel zones, which would include pinning and would include your taskbars. Okay, so as far as Nemo, they say it's 3 times faster. I don't know how I can determine how much faster. Nemo is already, to me, the fastest one of the desktops and file managers that there is, and so I'd be surprised if it's actually that much faster, but they say it is 3 times faster. Desktop settings, visual improvements were made to the icon sizes and spaces, and Nemo now uses XApp preferences window. So you can actually list your different columns in there as well. And let's see, other improvements. So NVIDIA card improvements, VSync, and then there's a few other things as well in there. Update Manager, you can is able to list mainline kernels and show support status. So you can kind of see what's supported, what's unsupported, etc., etc. So you can see that. And then you have the ability here to remove the old kernels. I think most of the same is going to be just some basic XApp reader adjustments. Nothing too surprising down there. So that is Cinnamon. Mate. So we have some touchpad drivers are changed. We might have a potential issue with the VirtualBox screen, so that's something to keep in mind. These are more issues. Did I hit the... I guess this is the release notes rather than the what's new, but let's go ahead and see. And here's new features. I think I hit the release notes on the Mate, and I did not hit the release notes on the other ones. Let's go ahead and just go back to the home page, and we're going to pull up the Mate. There you go. Yeah, I hit the release notes. Here we go. Here's new features. All right, so the Update Manager. So a lot of the same things we already talked about. Software sources, input methods. So pretty much everything that is changed in Cinnamon will have been applied to Mate. It's just that, of course, Mate does not run the Cinnamon. Oh, my brain's dying. So here's some changes to the Mint Y theme. So give it more contrast. So if you liked Mint Y but was a little bit light, you can see that they made some contrast changes in that. So that's good. And then XFCE. I'm guessing that it's going to be essentially the same. All right, so that's about it. So let's go ahead and boot one of these guys up into a virtual machine. Let's see. We're just gonna boot up our optical drive and see. Let's do 19.1. Let's go ahead and do Mate first. We're going to move that out of the way, start this bad boy up, and see what we get. Well, that's booting up. Let's go ahead and come on back to comments. Oh, it's 86 down there. Oh. Hope you don't mind the Linux Mint theme on Farron OS from Theme Store has the modern layout. Of course, man. Nope, never using it again. That's fine, man. How about, though, Farron, why don't you, rather than using the traditional layout, see if you can get in there and create a traditional layout with the modern Cinnamon. That would be neat. Hello, Ricky. Greetings. World of Tech. Hello to you. Rhinecoin. Greetings to you. Sleeps because of changes. Cinnamon remains fully stable, though. I'm half and half. I like pinned apps because of the limited desktop screen real estate, but if I have multiple windows open, I like them ungrouped for speed. There you go. Yep. Weird question here. The main editor editions of Mint Ubuntu, based on Ubuntu and their point releases based on the 6-month. No, it's always based on the Ubuntu LTS. They always want to go with the LTS because that's the one that has stability, which is very sad in this case because the Ubuntu 1804 LTS, I think that like the thing is that 1810 is a lot better as far as stability, but we also have to remember that when 1804 came out, it was really bad, but the point releases get some gradual updates as well, which should help with stability. So hopefully we'll see these coming out. So if you've actually had, issues with 19.0, they will probably be resolved in 19.1 because the LTS is always getting updated and mainstreamed as well. It's not like exactly as Ubuntu 1804 came out, which had a lot of issues with it. It's not like that's the end point. They are constantly upgrading that. All right, so it looks like this is working, and we are not getting our nice full screen. So the first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully I can do that. There we are. There's the resolution I want. Keep this configuration. Oh. Okay, now that's there. Now we are booted in. Again, we are on Mate now, and we are not going to be installing this. We're just going to poke around in the live key. First thing I see, is this Cortana? Oh my God, no, it's not Cortana. I don't know what it is. It is the networking theme over here. So let's see, are these also pinned? Okay, so Mate is keeping your old classic format where it is just like that. So, you know, if you don't want to mess around with Cinnamon 4.0 with the new modern layout, you can go back to Mate, which is maintaining the exact same layout as it always has had. You can see what the theming looks like now. And of course, we have our modern icon sets, which I actually like these better than the old Linux Mint icon sets, so no issue there. I did get the pop-up notification, if you guys saw that, about the networking stuff. That's something that I had noted on the beta. I'm not sure if that's just the system or what it is, but we'll go ahead and have a look. As far as real changes, yeah, there it is again. So apparently that we're constantly, I don't know if it's actually connecting or disconnecting or if it's just there's some goof in the notification. I saw the same exact thing on Linux Mint, the beta of this. So, of course, the Cinnamon version. So, what do we get out of the box? We get, I don't remember how to use this menu exactly. There we are, all applications. So, this is what I actually use on my other computer. I do run Linux Mint Mate on my backup system, which is basically for a encrypted backup of my system. So here we have just a lot of different tools. Again, some people really like the fact that Linux Mint comes packaged with a lot of tools. I'm one of the ones that likes this. Not everybody does. Some people look at this and say, this is bloated. I'm never going to use a dictionary. I'm never going to use a disk utility. And honestly, that's a legitimate concern. So this is one of those things where you either really love it or you really don't. I personally like these, so I gear towards, hey, I like the fact that it has system tools, because if there is some goofy thing going on, then absolutely we need to be able to fix it, whatever else, and the tools help. Now, of course, there's things like Redshift, the color temperature adjustment tool. I will never use that. I could probably just uninstall that. But nevertheless, that's the case. Of course, I like Linux Mint. It has their USB formatters and writers. As far as graphics, we have GIMP. Let's see what version we have. We still have 2.8. By the way, I threw the Flatpak of 2.10 on my main production system, and I've actually found some issues with it that I really don't like 2.10 quite as much as I like 2.8 at this point in time. Of course, I had to do that because one of my main production computers is actually running 2.10 as its default GIMP, and I created a book cover in there, and I needed to port it back over to this computer and make an adjustment to do the audiobook covers for that book. And of course, GIMP 2.10 has a problem that GIMP 2.8 cannot read the GIMP 2.10 files, which is a serious problem I wish that they would resolve. So that's kind of an issue, but it is what it is. All right, so there's Simple Scan. So Internet, we have Firefox, Thunderbird, Transmission. Office, we have the full LibreOffice suite. This is going to be version 6. I'm not sure which point version, though. Let's go ahead and have a look. And we'll double check if the spelling checker works. All right, about LibreOffice. So we are 6.0.6.2. And the spelling checker should work just fine. Yes, it does. And we even have our synonyms there. Our synonyms there. Yes, our cinnamon has cinnamon. I can't talk. All right. Sound and video. Don't forget, Linux Mint does not install the codecs. I don't think they put the item in there in the install menu, but if you go right into sound and video, you will see the ability right here. This adds the codecs. So that you can actually play all of your multimedia without a problem. Then we have Rhythmbox, Media Player, and just a variety of other things. Let's see what our system resources look like. So it looks like we're running on about 750 megabytes of system memory there. Not too shabby. There's our terminal. Backup tool, driver manager. Okay, so this is a question that I got. In fact, I think somebody even left a comment on one of my videos on it today. You know, you boot up Linux Mint and the wireless drivers don't work. Okay, so what the issue is with that is there is a class of chips, particularly in lower end computers, that are the Broadcom wireless chips. Broadcom has never released their drivers out to the public or to the open, and so the only option is proprietary drivers. And when that occurs, the Linux community in general will not include those proprietary drivers. But anything downstream of Ubuntu, such as Linux Mint here, has this driver manager utility. This is what you want to do. Now, the tricky part if your wireless drivers are not working is you have to bridge the internet somehow. Maybe you're using an external USB wireless card. Maybe you're plugging your phone directly into your computer and sharing information off of that, or maybe you are plugging into a cable or something. Regardless, you need to get internet to the system to make it work. That's the downside. The upside is you just have to boot up the driver manager tool. It's going to scan your system and determine if there are any proprietary drivers. Now, in this case, of course, I don't even have a wireless card in here, so it doesn't show up. I do actually have the option to install VirtualBox guest editions. So your graphics or your wireless card will appear in this menu. So if you are struggling with wireless not working, it's not because Linux sucks, it's because Broadcom sucks. They're not releasing the drivers, and so Linux wants to give you the option. Now, it would be very nice if, just like the NVIDIA drivers, if Linux Mint would give us the option in the startup menu, because as of 19, when you boot the system up, in the startup screen, you will have the option to boot with NVIDIA drivers, which are, if you are trying to boot the system and you have NVIDIA graphics card, your system may not boot. That's a long-term Linux issue. They've solved that by having one of the boot options install the proprietary NVIDIA drivers so you can get off the ground. It would be really, really, really cool if they did the same thing for Broadcom wireless cards so that people could actually get in there, get the system booted, install the system, and update the system prior to rebooting into the system and realizing I don't have Wi-Fi, you know. So that's what you need to do, is use that driver manager in there, and that will be available on all of the versions of Linux Mint. All right, so we have our login window, our software manager. Let's see what software manager we have. I think this is the Linux Mint software manager. Again, I'm still getting that constant pop-up. So this is one of the nicer software managers, I think, in Linux. We have Flatpaks. If you're searching for something, it's going to tell you right on the front end if it is a Flatpak or not. So you'll see that this one is in the repository. This is actually from the Flatpak. So you will also find things like Kdenlive should show up. This is the Flatpak version. This is the non-Flatpak version. What's the difference? Well, it's probably a different version. So this Flatpak version is 18.12.0, which is more up to date. The repository version is 4.17. I generally lean towards using the repository versions. Now, the good news is there is a way that you can update the repositories, and I show how to do that in a different video. This is what I really like. In fact, I was Alan Pope gave me a comment on one of my videos on the Linux controversies for the year, looking at this. And one of the concerns that I have on Ubuntu is with the Ubuntu Software Center right now, half of the packages available simply do not show up. If you search for Kdenlive, you will not see the Kdenlive that is in the repository, despite it is actually in the repository. Which means if you know how to boot up a terminal and do something like sudo apt install Kdenlive, it would actually work on Ubuntu, but it doesn't show up if you search for it in the Software Center. There is a snap available, go figure, that they want to push that instead. I'm going to push no because I don't want to install anything right now. So that's one of the reasons I really like Linux Mint, is that all of the software available is in their software manager, even if there's two options. Some people might say that, oh, well, that might be too confusing. Just understand that you will find things in the repository, and anything that is from the Flatpak will have FlatHub. They do this because these Flatpaks, these FlatHubs are still controversial. Some people, like myself, I will only install one of these as a last ditch. Things like proprietary, I think are just fine. Telegram, if I wanted to use that, sure. But I don't want these things to be system apps. I don't want them to be inside the system. So here's Nextcloud. I might actually, let me try that again, since I did that search from within there. So this one's actually only the FlatHub version, which I'm not sure why it doesn't tell me it's FlatHub there, but it does tell me right down there in the details. All right, so that software manager is going to be consistent between all of them. Let's see our preferences. I can never remember the name of there is one preference thing to go into all of them, and I can never remember the name of it on Mate. There it is, Control Center. That's it. So this is the Mate. So this one's going to be specific to Mate. We can install Linux Mint. Here's that driver manager, the backup tool. So this will make backups of your home directory, which is going to be different from another tool that's, I don't think it's in here, but it should be in here, called Timeshift. Timeshift basically makes a backup of your system without defaulting to your actual files. This is very much like Windows Restore. The backup tool will actually make a copy of all of your files. So those two are on here. They do different things. There's our update manager. We can do our printers, users, groups, software manager, login window. Just all the different things are all over here. Let's have a look at our appearances. So we have a variety of different choices on our themes. So we have light themes and we have dark themes. apparently we don't have backgrounds, or maybe my system's... Okay, well, no, maybe our backgrounds was just trying to load. All right, here we are. So we have a variety of Linux Mint specific backgrounds, and then we have just some other ones as well. So there's a lot of different pretty pictures in here. I think that Linux Mint 19 has absolutely the most images to look for. And then here's your showing them in your menus or not. So that's your anything with menus will show it. Let's close that out. So here is, of course, our welcome screen. So after install, you're going to get your welcome screen after your installation. So this sets up your system backups. This launches your driver manager. This installs your codecs. We have the update manager, system settings, etc. Now, of course, on Linux Mint Cinnamon, there's going to be an extra item in here where you can choose your desktop layout, which Mate does not presently have. So that is Linux Mint Mate. See if there's anything else in there I want to look at. Package manager, software manager. I think... Okay, so package manager, this is Synaptic. So I like the fact that they include that. It's the great thing about Linux Mint is you just have so many different tools and options. I have other videos where I talk about how to customize the theming and panels and things. So we're not going to dive into that because we have another one to look at. So we're going to go ahead, jump back over to comments while I boot up the XFCE version here. All right. Okay. Bonjour, Mr. Neil29. Hello, is it Joseph? Hello, Joseph? I don't know. My apologies. If you go into grouped windows list, you can turn on button labels and have pinning and windows on the panel. Yeah, I know. I have an entire video for that. It's just, it will be out tomorrow because I'm not live streaming tomorrow. So Friday, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see. Let's boot up XFCE. Personally, I prefer icon layout because I can recognize icon faster than text. Yes, that is a valid argument. And if you actually watch the videos where I talk about my defense of why I want the layout, it's because I will have multiple instances of each one open and I need to know exactly which one to get to first. And so that's why I really need that other layout. Ben, downloading Mint 19.1 Cinnamon. Very good. Very awesome. Very awesome indeed. Okay, you can also turn off grouping. Okay, I read somewhere that File Manager use fuse file copy, go through user space and slowing down now, and it copies through the kernel space alone. I don't know. Mate does not run Cinnamon? No, Mate does not run Cinnamon. All right. Oh, you do an XFCE. All right. Found a perfect distro for my laptop, Mint 17 KDE. Yeah, I run my computer, my media computer, when I'm not distro hopping on it. The hard drive actually contains Linux Mint 17.3. No, actually it is 18.3 now. I upgraded it to 18.3. It runs Linux Mint 18.3 KDE. Swap out group windows list with a windows list or configure group list to disable grouping. Yeah. 19.0, configure for hours, reinstall time. No, XRAM. There is an upgrade path. There is an upgrade path from Linux Mint 19 to 19.1. There's always an upgrade path. Be building new code base until 2020. Does that mean we're stuck on 18.04 until 2021? Probably. I don't know. All right. I got a fuzzy snake. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on over to XFCE. All right, once again, we keep on getting these connect, disconnect. There's some serious disconnect going on. All right, first thing, let's go ahead and search up our display so we can fix our display. Maybe. Okay, I guess display is going to crash. No, Linux Mint XFCE, don't do this to me. No! I encountered this once before. How do I fix this? I've encountered this before. So automatically, we're out of the box. We're having a few issues here. That's kind of sad. All right. See, it's the display is not working. Ooh boy. That is an issue I've encountered before. I'm trying to remember how I got around that. You know what? I rebooted the system. That's how I got around it before. Let's try that. 1810 today. Later I'll purchase the Linux Bible on Amazon. Very cool, Stephen Anderson. How's it going there? Frost Ranger loves Redshift. I hit reboot, and then the thing, it should just kick out the distro after I reboot. Now I don't think it's booting back in XFCE. I don't know yet. I'll have to see what it's doing. Nope. Shut down. Oh, XFCE, what are you doing? Clear the menu system. Right-click menu. Click Edit, Configure, Uncheck Show Items. Each menu category is desired. Can easily be shown later. All right. Hello, Anna Rita. Greetings to you. It's really good if you have to be on a computer when you have a headache. Good evening, Renard. How's it going there? Still using 18.3 because I can host Tom's host file. Last time I checked on 19.1, the host file does appear to be working now. Now, all right, let's see if anybody's telling me the command. I cannot remember exactly how to manually set that. Yeah, I'm getting issues on XFCE. We're going to be stuck on a smaller size here. I can't. The display application is not working. There is a setting to make that change in the terminal, and I just cannot remember exactly what it is. So we're just going to go ahead and go through this on the smaller size here. My apologies for that. All right, so on XFCE, your differences are, the desktop layout it's a different desktop layout. If you're not too familiar with Linux, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Really, from the perspective of these, it's pretty much a different type of menu. You'll see that this menu does seem a little bit simpler. We do actually have the ability to adjust its size, so you can make it big or small, however you want it to be. You have that ability on XFCE, so you can do that. There's a little bit different under the hood, so if you load up your files, then you're going to have Thunar instead of Nemo, and on Mate it's Kaja. We didn't actually look at that. All right, but everything else, you'll find the same suite of applications. All the different tools that it's going to be on one of them, they are all going to be on each of the others. We can install our multimedia codecs. All the applications are going to be the same. So your difference really is just your configuration. Now here you can grab your entire system settings up at the top. We can adjust our appearances. Now, if you know how to do CSS coding, you can actually make more fine granular adjustments to the settings just by editing these. But at the same token, there's a variety of different things. Now, some people will think that this looks a lot older. I would probably agree. That might be what you want. I don't know. But it's an option, and you can actually get into the configuration files and edit these with CSS. Here's your icons. You can pick a variety of different icons, fonts, and different settings. So show images and menus. You can toggle that on, toggle that off. Clicking this to go back to all settings. Here's our desktop settings. So here we have a variety of different Windows managers. So these will, there's different settings. So like this one here, you see we got little wobbly windows. I'm pretty sure you can set these on Mate as well. But depending on what you want to do, you can research what each of these are and see how they work and just play around with them. So that's something you can do there. The panel adjustments, of course, how do you want your panel to look? And you can do anything from a variety of different, there's hover in, hover out effects. There's alpha effects. There's that. There's background images. I think we'd have to change to a different compositor to get that working. Okay, preferred applications, tweaks. Let's try display again. See, it's like display, no display. I want you to work. Let's check the driver manager. Once again, we have the driver manager. Let's see if anybody's telling me in the comments here how to do that. Somebody's got to know how to do that. There it is. Thank you for that. Sleepy Eyes Vince. Yes, thank you. It's xrand r-s 1920 by 1080. Not something I have to do on a regular basis, so I couldn't remember what that command was. Thank you for that, Sleepy. All right. Okay, now we're full screen again. All right, so for whatever reason, our displays panel's not working. Not sure if they're aware of that. That might be in the notes that we kind of brushed over. Again, your software manager is going to be the same software manager that you saw in the other Linux Mint. I'm pretty sure it's going to make a liar out of me. No, okay, there we go. So it is going to be the same manager. So we're not going to look at that any further. Update manager. That's something I did not see. Well, actually, we won't see it here because we're not installed. But the update manager will be down here in your taskbar. Settings editors. I don't use XFCE quite as much. I use it on systems where you kind of need to, like cubes and things like that. Again, I've done a lot of videos about how to customize this, so we're not going to go through all those now. But here we can do our properties. We can also right-click. We can look at desktop settings. So this will give us our various icons. So do you want, like I like the trash icon on there. File system, I don't find that quite as useful in Linux. I used to do that on Windows, but I found that that's not particularly helpful on Linux. I can just go into here if I need to, which is rare. I can just go into here and go up to the file system there. So you can adjust your icons there. We can adjust our icon sizes. Custom font sizes, show icon tooltip, show thumbnails, etc. All right, as far as menus, show application icons in menus. So these are these menus. I think that's the one it is. Let's see. Nah, that one's, I don't remember how to do all those changes and configurations. Over here, once again, we have much the same wallpapers that we saw in Mate. We have some different phases of the moon though too. I didn't see that one over there. Here's some nice mountains. Statue of Liberty. Freedom! And then we just have a variety of different icons here. So you can see this one here. The reason I think a lot of people like XFCE is it is a very lightweight system. So it's, let's see if I can remember how to show the entire system memory. I don't remember. Is HTOP installed? Probably not. All right, so HTOP running. This is still running about 700 megabytes, which is More than I anticipated it would be running, but it is super lightweight, so that is why people run it. It's lightweight, it's fast, it's snappy. It kind of stays out of your way and allows you to do what you need to do. You know, as I've been testing XFCE and GNOME and all these other ones, I realized I want to get back to something like Mate and Cinnamon and XFCE, how fast and snappy the systems actually are, and so that's something to like. So here is this. I'm not sure there's any other comments there. Let's go ahead and jump back onto the comments. I'm going to leave this machine open in case there's any questions in here. Brian, the computer geek, is on. Greetings, Brian. How are you? And by the way, I'm finally making the jump for real. I'm going to use Mint XFCE as we speak. Very good. Very good. I think he said 19.1 he's downloading. Common consensus in the Mint forums that you should never run dist upgrade as you'll end up with a Frankenstein Ubuntu. Yeah, it's probably what I have on my main system. I could probably take my main Linux Mint system, probably wipe the thing out and go ahead and reinstall one of the newer Linux Mints. It'd probably work a little bit better. It takes forever to boot that thing up because it started on 17.3. It upgraded to, you know, all the way up to 18.3, and that's that. Okay, writing USB at the moment. Hey Joe, how's it going there? Greetings. Okay, Mint sources will install for no reason with Ubuntu. For USB tethering in Linux, you have to disable the modern manager in systemd. Really? Never had to do anything like that before. Bella says hi. She's on school holiday and we're watching a stream together. Well, hello, Bella. Greetings to you. How are you? Is Mint as tracking as Ubuntu and Canonical? No. They have intentionally left all that out because the Mint team overall is not interested in any of that type of data. They take active stands to prevent that. Now, actually, that's something I did not mention earlier, though, and that is for people like even error reporting. Linux Mint does not even have error reporting by default. One of the things that they did change here is that there is an error reporting tool that you can install, but again, is not installed. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it or not. I don't even remember exactly what it is. I was checking the release notes. I don't know. It's in there somewhere. You'll find it in the release notes somewhere. But it's an option. They added it to the repository so you can install it if you are a person that would like to submit bug reports. That's what it is. I think it's bug reports. Let me try for searching for bug reports this time. That might be it. I can't remember. But they did add it, so for people that want it, you can do it. But by default, it does not do any type of data collection at all. Wife and I have done the same thing sometimes. Watching Tom stream videos is better than TV. We don't have cable anymore. All right, yeah. If you prefer GIMP 2.10, you can use the flat pack. Yeah, I prefer GIMP 2.8, actually. What I'm finding is that one of the things that I use, like you'll notice the title down below there, it's beveled text. Beveling on text does not seem to work on 2.10, at least not 2.10 on the flat pack. I'll try it. I'll try it out on Fedora here when I get off the stream. I'll test it over there. Core Ubuntu, to which Canonical doesn't have access. Well, what they do is they take the Ubuntu repositories and then they adjust and edit for it. So basically they can load everything and then have their repository go in and take stuff out. That's what they end up doing. Just saying the top guys on the forums will slap you down for that. Mint is much more privacy focused. They remove the tracking. Yep. Though Neon is inconceivable without apt full upgrade. Every single time Neon breaks when you only apt upgrade. Okay. It's okay to use it for professional production like game dev or whatever. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do. Linux Mint is what I use for my production, with the only exception being my books. I actually use Peppermint on that because I have one computer dedicated to writing, and that's that. And even that, the book covers and things get done on GIMP. So yeah, everything. I use Linux Mint for my main production. Yep. Using beta 19.1 for a short while, no issues so far. Yeah, the only thing I'm getting is that constant pop-up for the network. Is anyone else getting that, or is that just this? Should I uninstall and install the new, or just install the new? Okay, to do the LibreOffice, right? What I generally do, if you want the latest, is you want to get the repo. So let me show you what that does here, as long as everything works. Okay. Okay, this one should work. This is an old post, but this one should work. So what we're going to do is first I'm going to pull up Synaptic. And it may not work because I'm on a live key, but let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. Cancel. I wonder something. Yeah, okay. All right. I was there. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do here is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run Synaptic. So Synaptic is going to show me the package versions that we have available. So we're going to close that. We're going to search for LibreOffice. Actually, let's see. All right. Libre. If that's not a popular word on Linux, duh. All right, so okay, so Libre, let's see, LibreOffice base. So we can see that the latest version is the, let's see. And we're just going to boot up LibreOffice. This is the Ubuntu versions there. Let's boot up Writer. We're just going to double check the versions here. All right, so if you hit About LibreOffice, we are running 6.0.6.2. All right, so that's what we're running right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a repo. So Ubuntu supports PPAs, so we're going to come over here and we are going to add this stable repo. It's going to ask us, do we want to confirm this? So yes, we're going to do this. It's going to import the repo. And then what we're going to do is we are going to update the cache. All right, and now if I do sudo apt install, I can't remember if it's LibreOffice with a space or not with a space. I think it's without a space. Okay, so what it's doing now is it's going to be updating the version from the latest repo. So of course, never do anything without understanding what's going on. So the first line of this, it's adding a repository. So you'll find that in the software sources. So if you find your software sources in your menu, then come down here to PPAs and you'll see LibreOffice PPA. What this means is that it is, as it's grabbing the packages and the information that we need, this basically adds an extra package which is going to supersede anything in the official repositories. So basically, the official repositories has a version of LibreOffice, which is going to be a slightly older version because they don't update the repositories all the time. So we're adding the PPA, which comes directly from LibreOffice, that is going to give us the absolute latest version of the package instead. So now when I install the package, what we're going to see is it's going to replace the existing package with the new one. So that means that your system-wide, you're going to have the newer package. Now, if there happens to be in the software manager, if there happens to be a Flatpak or a Snap or something like that, you might see the option of having that if there is one for FlatHub. What this is going to do is this is going to get you also probably the latest version, but you're going to have two separate instances. One of these being the system-wide version, one of these being the version that you get in the Flatpak. So for me, I always want to install system-wide well before I'm going to pick a Flatpak or anything like that, because we get a lot more. It's more integrated with the system, and that's really what we want. There's issues with Flatpaks. There's issues with snaps and things, and I've talked about that. I'm going to show you what this looks like by doing this with GIMP, because I don't want to mess with that. So in GIMP, we already have GIMP installed, but there will also be a version of GIMP in the Flatpak. I just got to find it. It might actually be easier to find it by searching in the Flatpaks. Okay. So here, this is the Flatpak version of GIMP. We're going to go ahead and install this. And we're going to let this do its thing. While those finish installing, I'm just going to read some comments. I'm just going to keep it on this screen for now. I'm just going to read some. But yeah, I would always do this method because it's going to make sure you don't have the weirdness that comes along with Flatpaks, things like that. All right, so on Mint, boot, Flatpak checks for updates, but I'm not sure it updates the apps as well as the Flatpaks. I'm not sure. Happy with Mint for personal stuff, though I'm still stuck with Windows Server for work. Yep. Yeah, since I work for myself, I can choose, I might just fire myself if I have to rely on some other company for a package. That's insanity, man. Come on. What do you mean by tracking? LTS-based and apt will flavor command line over Ubuntu. I think what he was talking about with tracking is he was talking about the data collection. All right, so now that that is installed, if I boot up LibreWriter again, then when we check our version this time, it should be the latest stable version, which I'm not sure if they're going to be the exact same or not because the system just came out today. I doubt it, but... Or maybe we might kill the thing. We might need to reboot. I don't know. I've never had an issue where this failed on me, but I've already had a few issues with XFCE, so... Well, I don't know. That one, we're going to wait for this thing to finish doing its thing. Of course, one of the other things is we're still on a live key. We're not actually installing something, so it might have gotten itself confused somewhere around the line. Let me try and boot up the core of LibreOffice. Fatal Exception 7. I might have to reboot the system, but that will wipe out everything that I just did. This is what I just did here is the exact process that I have done to put LibreOffice, the latest version of LibreOffice on my Linux Mint 18. It works perfectly. It could be an old repository, but I doubt it. I think that's the same exact repository I used. But yeah, we're getting an error there. I don't know. I think there might just be something wrong with XFCE or something here. All right, so that's still installing. Okay, just install LibreOffice. It will automatically update. No need to install anything else. Even that failed. I'm just having a lot of issues with XFCE. I bet if we switched over to one of the other ones, it might work. Do we want to do that? Let's go ahead and do that, though. I'm going to go ahead and reboot the system, and it's going to restart into my Linux Mint 19. It's going to be rebooted in my beta version. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how to do this. Over there, it should work just fine. All right. Okay. No crash handlers, though. Let's remove. Linux is easier and faster, makes more sense when it comes to updating things and applications. On this one here, it looks like 6.0.6.2. All right, so here we are. This is actually installed on the virtual machine, so this one should work a little bit better. All right. And this is probably still running the beta. I could probably run updates and get it to work. I'm trying to remember if I did anything else to make this system funky or not. I might have made funkiness. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the software sources, and I'm just going to make sure I haven't already done this. Okay, so it looks like I've added GNOME. That's what I've added. I could boot this guy into GNOME if I wanted to. All right, so now we'll go ahead and boot up LibreOffice Writer. So last time it wasn't working because either we are on a live key or XFCE is just being goofy. All right, but here about LibreOffice. So this is 6.0.7.3, which seems newer than the last one. I don't know. Let me also double check my packages here. Let's install this update. This might actually upgrade it into the non-beta. All right, so looks like we do not have anything there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go for the LibreOffice stable repo. We're going to need a terminal, so we're going to go ahead and boot up a terminal over here. We're going to boot up this over here. We're going to look for LibreOffice. Let's do stable repo. That should get us what we need. Okay, we're going to copy this, enter my password, hit enter so that we can do that. Sudo apt update. This is going to update our package cache. And now actually, since this is already running, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. We should see a new version of LibreOffice show up in this list here. It's going to make a liar out of me, though, because, you know. And there it is. Looks like it's only updating a couple things. So maybe we do actually already have the latest version of this installed, and it's just these two are the things. So that is, my guess is right now we already have the latest. So that's that. In fact, you know what we're going to do? Let me drop out of this. Come on to, this is my main system here. This should be the absolute latest. So let's see what this says. Actually, it might not be. I haven't run updates for a couple of days. Okay, so this is 6.1.3.2. So maybe it's a different repo. I don't know. Let me check what my software source is over here. PPAs. Ah, that's the problem. I'm using a different one here. Let me edit this. Edit URL. Copy that. That's the problem. I'm using an old page. It should be the same one. I don't know. See, it's making a liar out of me. It's kind of funny. I do this all the time on my production computers. It works perfectly fine. I try and show you how to do it. And going to remove you. Going to remove you. We'll go ahead and run these updates. See what we're doing. Update. Let's see what we get. Or I'm just blind and it was working all the time. I don't know. Hey, Bite My Vape. Greetings there. How's it going there? Bonjour. How's it going there? Greetings, Louie. Louie. VirtualBox updated to 6.0. Oh, boy. I'll wait for a while. Think you're going to ditch Mint and go for Peppermint 9? All right, there you go. Dude, this wants 8 minutes to do this? Holy moly. Well, we'll come back over to comments. We'll be back in 8 minutes. LFS doesn't have VirtualBox drivers. It only has VM drivers. Issue with my VirtualBox when I boot up a distro, it won't let me grab the distro pop-up window to move it. Huh. Because it's sticking to 18.3 for now. That's personally what I do. My production computers are staying on 18.3 for now. Going to put Ubuntu server on Raspberry Pi. There you go. That's good. Sticking with Linux Mint Debian Edition, then is planning upgrading to that. But, well, I mean, give it a try. I mean, grab yourself a USB key. Maybe I got a messed up download. Hey, I didn't verify my downloads. If I were installing it on a system, I would. But and I've had that issue before as well. I just can't remember. Okay. It says busy inserting junk code into Linux kernel to make it run like crap. Then they are literally approving the code submitted by themselves. Yep. I'm going to use Raspberry Pi as an upload buffer to upload extremely large files so my PC doesn't have to. Good. You do that terminal command in the VM to change the size or in your actual host distro. You do it on the guest, in the terminal on the guest. It's basically it's just the terminal command to make the adjustment that the GUI thing is supposed to do but isn't doing. Ooh, home-baked spaghetti for dinner. Nice. Yeah, 750 megabytes. That's really heavy. That's interestingly heavy. Considering development, some dedicated UI UX design tools, I'm a big proponent of not breaking things. I feel we aren't really innovating on the user side. Well, the problem is that innovation on the user side is a very subjective opinion. So like WordPress just decided to kill their entire core for Gutenberg that doesn't work. The UI is modern. I don't care if the UI is modern. The software doesn't work. Okay? If your UI, modern UI means everything is hidden until you hover a mouse over it, it's a foolish idea. But, I mean, what do you mean? I mean, you have to balance functional with, I mean, what does it mean? Give users the choice so they can subjectively choose what they think is best. But absolutely, yeah. Maybe we need some, but maybe not. If what we have works, why bother breaking it? 19 to 19.1 possibly. I think there is an upgrade path reported in the repo or in the forums. I did not check yet. It's on my list to look at nature, and I keep forgetting about it. Time is dinner. For me, I don't know, probably 10 o'clock at this rate. Wife just said Merry Christmas for me, and now she starts her vacation until January 3rd. Awesome. Well, have a good vacation. Literally. System, I don't know, it might be system reports. All right, this thing's done. That was a fast 8 minutes. All right. Close tabs. Libre Writer. Hopefully we should be in like the 6.1 or something. Okay, now we're in the 6.1. Now we're 6.1.3.2. Long way around, but there you go. And part of that's because LibreOffice Suite takes a long time to load. So add that repo to any Ubuntu-based distro, run your update, and then upgrade LibreOffice, and that should work. I'm just going with the XFCE builds a little on the creepy side. So as of right this second. So it'll get better. I'm sure it'll get better. Pizza, pizza. Everyone join me in saying pizza, pizza. Pizza likes GIMP 210. I have to test the GIMP 210 on Fedora. See if is it just a Flatpak issue or a Mint issue or whatever. And Gmic add-on in GIMP. Winter break is next week, so I have loads of homework, yeah. Run my own daycare, so I have to cook for the kiddos during the week. Plus me and my wife during the week, yeah. How good is GNOME on Linux Mint? It's actually pretty smooth. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and log out over here, and we'll log back in with GNOME. It's actually amazingly smooth. I think actually, I don't forget which one I was using. Let me go back to this one. Yeah, it was amazingly smooth when I was testing it. It's not even GNOME 3.0 or 3.30. So this is Linux Mint running GNOME, and we have version, I think it's like 3.22 or something. 3.28. So it's running 3.28, but it is surprisingly snappy for GNOME. I mean, this is fast. If you're not aware of how slow GNOME usually is, this is really fast. Like, I have no idea how it's this fast. I've never seen GNOME this fast. So yeah, it seems to work pretty well. I haven't actually run it. Now, I did run GNOME on Linux Mint Debian Edition for a while. It was actually running pretty good over there. It was somewhat slow, but decent enough. But anyway, Clear skies. No, wait, never mind. I'm not going to sing. That's horrid. All right. So, yeah, that's how it runs. It does run pretty good. Why don't you write books on your production? Because I don't write my books sitting in my office. That and the production web development computer, it's just overkill to write a book on that. I'd rather just bring something really small, really light. Boot time of your machine, I felt that Mint boot's kind of slow. My main production computer that's been through several versions of Mint, it actually very possibly 2 or 3 minutes. This computer here, it maybe 35, 40 seconds. It's pretty quick. Yeah, when I had an SSD in this, it would actually boot in 10 seconds. Quite amazing. One image editor I really like, and that's Photo Flare. Not as good as GIMP, but it is a good program. Very good. Hello, Netherlands. Greetings, Eric. Someone should make a desnapped Ubuntu build with a bunch of PPAs so you have the latest version of everything and snapd. Well, pizza, you the man. Do it. Selling 19.1 in a virtual box. Hello, Keegan. Greetings to you. How are things going your way, sir? How about a PPA store that adds PPAs and installs packages automatically? That would be cool. Let's get Farron to make that a real thing. Now let's get Pizza to do it. We'll call it Pizza's Perpetual Upgraded Distro. How's that? PPUD. Call it PPUD. I wonder how stable this would be on kernel 4.19.9. I think we're on kernel 4.19.9. Hold on. Let me look at the kernel. I forgot to look at the kernel when I booted this up. Hey, there's a console. Well, I found something that's running slow. Oh, this is not the console we're looking for. Yeah, I got to type right, huh? So we are running 4.19.7 right now on this. Okay. Yeah, Maxarcade, I did a video last week about how to update the kernel on Linux Mint. Snapd isn't installed by default. This will call it rolling distro release. Yes. See, we need a rolling distro Ubuntu. Come on. Call it Ubuntu on a roll. You have an animated GIF that's the Ubuntu logo rolling. Come on, man. Is somebody writing this stuff down? We need to get together. Very useful and handy. Have something like a PPA store. Pizza, when can I grab the Infinipackage? Greetings, Thomas. How's it going there? Is CJ still on vacation? He's around here somewhere. I'm sure I'll find him when I pull out the kitty treats. Oh, snap. Ouch. I have a Word document with PPA for the applications I wish to have the latest version of. Yeah. Pizza likes Cinnamon's new layout. Ban him. No, kidding. I prefer the classic Windows list. Yep. So if you came on late, tomorrow's video is going to be how to set up Linux Mint. Not Linux Mint. How to set up Cinnamon 4.0 with the old window layout without having the Linux Mint welcome screen. As for the old school way on Windows, yep, absolutely. I've tried a variety of different things. Use snaps or Flatpak, which one would you use? None, but probably Flatpak. Okay, makes sense to make a server? Would it make sense to make a server a Raspberry Pi? It depends on what you want to do with it. Using VPS. What if the 19.2 is based on Ubuntu 18.10? Well, I think that the 18.04 issues are getting resolved in the point releases. So I think that the point releases are going to become more stable as they incorporate the latest LTS. But that's kind of my thought. I want to keep it forever, install my own operating system, upgrade it myself, and don't like paying monthly. PPA took a bit, but I still have the same version, 6.1.32. I'm manually running an update in LibreOffice, no change. Yeah, Joe, if you find this, Joe, later, make sure it's the right PPA. I think that I'm not sure what the issue was on the XFCE, but oh well. Making me mad when I wake up from sleeping. The screen itself doesn't light up. Try pasting 10K Word article into Gutenberg and then copy it back into Word while retaining formatting. Try pasting a 1,000 word Gutenberg article into Gutenberg at all. Yeah. MV WordPress dev null. Yeah, sudo. Yeah, RMRF WordPress. Between that and the contact form 7 nonsense. Switch back to Mint on 19 and my Java is totally bleeped. I'm going to delete the comment because we don't allow these words in there, but I'm going to see what I can do. Someone help me here, Linux Mint. Switched back to Linux Mint 19. My Java is totally messed up. Nothing Java really works. What I would do, Gamey, is probably sudo apt remove purge Java and then reinstall it. And my guess is if you roll the version either one way or the other, it's probably snagging onto some old component somewhere. And so that's probably what I would try and do is just try and make sure that everything's out. So delete it, purge it, and then reinstall it. See if that would work. Num was like 3.30, all about optimization, but still eats up a gig of RAM, yeah. Do let us know what platform you've chosen to migrate to when you've decided to leave WordPress. Right now, I'm heavily leaning towards Joomla because there's 3 big ones in the CMS world that contains all of the functionality that I need, those being WordPress, Drupal, and Joomla. But Drupal's also getting Gutenberg, and Drupal already was a horrid nightmare. And so Drupal's just like, I'm done with it. I can work with Drupal if I absolutely have to, but it's definitely not my preference. Classic Press, if you don't need things like WooCommerce and some other more advanced and automatic controlled things, then Classic Press is perfectly fine. And you know, there's some other ones. If you're just a blogger, there's ones to look at for that. But as far as a full carte blanche CMS, I'm thinking I'm leaning toward Joomla. You're not making a 6.0 video. Looking at the change log, not enough changes. Oh. PP Putos. Pizza perpetually updated distro OS. There you go. Pizza Roll OS. I like Pizza Roll OS. That's it, man. Pizza, you have to do it now when it's called Pizza Roll OS. I think I'll just switch to Fedora or Ubuntu. Java doesn't work for me on all Mint. Okay. If Ubuntu was rolling release, breaking news, Ubuntu October update is wiping people's systems. I think that version is the latest. LOL, family-friendly channel. Yep. Okay, that comment with the blank word didn't show up. Oh, on top chat. Really? Yep. Oh, that's fine. We got it. I got it. I got the question answered, though, I hope. If you want to stick with Mint, that's what I do. Uninstall it, purge it, and then reinstall it. But, yeah, if you want to switch to something else, yeah, switch to something else. Another weather program in Mint 18.3 didn't have flat icons. 19 does. I think 18.3 is vastly superior because of it. Hey, man, I could always change my icons around. I mean, come on. Come on. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't mind the new icon sets. I've never been a big fan of the modern design anyway, but I certainly like the modern flat new Linux Mint icons better than the old Linux Mint icons, I can honestly say. But that's kind of that. All right. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Oh, there you are. He was in here all along. He was just on the other side. Oh, come on, bud. Oh, you're getting big. Do we need to cut back your treats? It's like this is his pay, though. I mean, I don't want to... Do I want to give the kitty a pay cut? I don't want to give the kitty a pay cut, do I? You ready? You ready for your paycheck, kitty? You ready for your paycheck? No, don't do that. You're going to turn around. You're going to moon everybody. Stay right there. Whoop. That was accidental. And let's do one for this camera right here. There you go. Are they finger licking good? Yeah, they're finger licking good, are they? All right, buddy. They're finger licking good. Aren't they? Yeah, sure, they're finger licking good, huh? That's it, buddy. That's it. That's all you get. All right, let's see. Kitty gets eggnog treats. Yuck. Ew. And 5 neighbors babysit their kids for New Year's Day. You can change the icons in the settings. You got to change the icon path, or you can install a set of icons. Yeah, you can do either one. Maybe try locale treats. You want locale treats? You want locale treats? What? Why don't you jump down, okay? I don't like you sitting on the desk like that. Come on. All right, fine. Just until I'm done streaming. He's over here like, yo, what's up? Kitty just needs to be more productive for the same pay. There you go. Yeah. Does Kitty like mice? I don't know. Kitty likes laser pointers. You like laser pointers, don't you? I got to get him another laser pointer. Thought about Foundation 6 as a WordPress replacement. I've not seen Foundation 6. I'll look at it. All right. So the reason I need something beefier, I need website systems that can support blogs with multiple systems, a store, podcast feeds, video feeds, easy page edits, various different things. I don't know. I'll look at Foundation 6, but I'll have a look at it. It's going to 18.3, not using 17 anymore. Hey, recall you mentioning you don't like Antergos. Can you explain why? It's just a pain to install. It's the only time Big Daddy Linux did a distro challenge that half the people didn't come back running it because they couldn't get it installed. And those people know more than I do. CJ likes to test his boundaries. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Thanks for the frequent content throughout the year. Hey, no problem, guys. Just a reminder, I will not be live streaming tomorrow. Friday is in the air. I may live stream Friday. I may not live stream Friday. It might be news. You may or may not see the news articles. I just don't know yet. I'll probably have a video on backup just in case I don't get a chance to do it, but we'll see what happens. So with that, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So thanks for hanging out, and I will be streaming later on this week as well. So we will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and Merry Christmas to you all.